Okay, I just wanted to make a video to go over the last thing that we did in class. It was how to solve a polynomial. And we've done these a lot before, only all the ones that we did, it just had an x squared. It didn't have a number in front of the x squared. So this was a little magic way that we learned to solve these. It's actually the English way, not how it's typically done in the United States, but if you follow this color-coded chart that I gave you and do a lot of practice, you'll get it down. So basically, just to go through the chart, what you do is you take the first and the last terms and you multiply them together. And then you break them apart, but while you're doing that, you're thinking about this number up here. So you want to break them apart to try and get this 11x. So you could actually write all the factors, all the multiples of 24 next to it, 1 and 24, 4 and 6, blah, blah, till you get the ones that will give you 11. So you break them apart, and then these ones you just bring straight down. That's the first step. And then once you've done that, you separate these into two separate things. In class, we actually put boxes around them, and then you factor. So we're just looking at 2x squared plus 8x, and we're trying to figure out what we can pull out. So we pull out the 2x, and then once you pull a 2x out, what's left here? Just the x, and what's left here? Just the 4. And then we do the same thing with the second half of it. So in this one, we're going to pull out just a 3, and then what's left is an x plus 4. So once you have this part, these two, the orange two, will always be the same. If they're not the same, you've done something wrong and you need to start over. So those become one of your terms, and then you take the two numbers out in front, and that becomes your second term. So now I'm going to use this model to do a different problem up here. Okay, so following the model, and I'll try to color code here. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these two together. This one also has a negative in it, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So 6x squared times negative 4 is negative 24x squared. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break this apart. And while I'm doing that, I'm thinking about this number right here. I'm trying to get this number. So I'm going to write my multiples of 24 over here. I have 24 and 1, 12 and 2, 6 and 4, 3 and 8. Because this number is negative, I know that I'm going to have one that's negative and one that is positive. So I'm looking for something I can get 10 when one's negative and one's positive. So it's actually going to be this one right here. And which number is going to be negative and which one is going to be positive? We know that the 12 is going to be positive because it needs to be bigger. So it'll be 12 minus the 2 will give us the positive 10. So I'm going to put the 12x here, and it's positive, and then negative 2x here. And then these little guys just come straight down. So I'm going to put the 6x squared, and I'm bringing the sign with it, negative 4. Okay, that's the first step. Now we're going to break this into two right in the middle. So we can actually even draw a little square around it to help us look at it. Make sure that the sign goes with it. Now we're going to factor each of these separately. So just looking at this one right here, what can we pull out? We can pull out a 6 because both terms have a 6 in it, and we can pull out an x. So if we do this, what do we have left once we pull 6x out of here? Just an x. And what do we have left here once we pull a 6x out? Just a 2. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. What can we pull out? We can pull out a negative 2. And then what do we have left? We have x. Hold on. that's right, x plus 2. And we can check it back because negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. So these two are the same. So I know that so far so good. I can go forward. So that's going to be my first term. And then I'm going to take these two that are remaining. And that's going to be my second term. And the way that you could check this back is you could use whatever method you were using in class. Some people use the distributive property. They go like this. Some people use FOIL. Some people use the kitty cat. We had several different methods of doing this. Whatever method you use, if you do it back, I'm not going to say it out loud because we all have different methods of doing it. But basically, you would have 6x squared. You would have 12x. You would have a negative 2x. And you would have a negative 4. If you combine the like terms, you would get 6x squared plus 10x minus 4. And this is the same as what we started with up here. And that's how you know that you've done it correctly.